Okay, to start, let's make our composition. So we'll do that with Control N. And we will set it to 1080 by 1080. Okay, now that we have our comp, we are going to insert our two clips of our choosing. So again, I'll just use this photo of Ressa. And I am going to pre-comp this so it's a perfect square when I use motion tile on it. And let's put in our last clip. Like so. So now we should have this. Okay. Now for the actual zoom part. First, we're going to add motion tile. We're going to set the output width to around 500. You could definitely go for a small number, but the higher the number is, the more intense your zoom will look. But 500 for me is usually the general area. So after you set your output numbers to 500, you're going to click this mirror edges. Make sure it's ticked. Now press S and you should notice that there's this tile effect. Now to start the transition, we're going to create keyframes on this scale property. So just click the stopwatch next to scale. Then go over to just the frame before the next clip. Now you should get something like this. Okay, it's perfect. Now we're going to move this keyframe to the next frame. Now we're going to do the same thing for the next clip, but instead we're going to start a little more zoomed in. So let's start with a keyframe by pressing the stopwatch icon again, and let's drag this ending position to a few frames over. Go back to the middle of the transition, and then go ahead and zoom in. Now you'll get something like this. Now we're going to start our graphs. Select all the keyframes, press F9, and go into the graph editor. We're going to create an in graph starting with this one. And then we're going to do an out graph over here. Now it should look like this. Now it looks amazing. Now we're going to add an adjustment layer so we can add the warp. We're going to split it between the transitions. Now let's insert warp. And for the warp style, we're going to select fisheye. For the starting bend, we're going to set this to 0. Then at the middle, we're going to set this to -100. Press U so you can see your keyframes. And make sure the keyframe is in the last frame of the first clip. On the next keyframe, you're going to set the bend number to +100. Then copy and paste the starting keyframe to the end of the transition. Now you'll get something like this. Now we're going to do the same thing with what we did for scaling. We're going to do the same in and out graph. So select all the keyframes and press F9 to easy ease them. Go into the graph editor and do an in graph, then an out graph. This is what it should look like. I kind of want to add some anticipation for the warp, and so we're going to do that by adjusting this adjustment layer a little bit to the left so I can add this anticipation. So for this keyframe, we're going to copy and paste it to the start of the adjustment layer. Then we're going to go back to that keyframe. Then we're going to do a positive bend. I usually like doing 50. I think it's good enough. And then we're just going to easy ease this keyframe. Now it should look something like this. If you want to make it look even better, you could do the same thing for a scale at the bottom. Just don't forget to easy ease the first keyframe. And that's all to it.